Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first video, so feel free to leave any suggestions in the comment below. And without further ado, let's dive right in. Slurp. Before we dive right in, a sub will be greatly appreciated. In number 10, we have Knights and Magic. For those of you that love mechas, this anime is for you. This series illustrates the story of a young man from Japan who dies in a car accident and is reincarnated in a world where knights and magic are real. He quickly adapts to this world and dedicating himself to fulfill his long-time dream of building his own mecha. This is a fantasy-rich comedy anime in which the protagonist enrolls himself in a school to become a silhouette knight to fight against demon beasts and enemy nations. This anime is great for mecha fans. Overall, this is a great anime amongst the best mecha animes out there. However, it does leave a lot to be desired in each episode. But if you're not really an anime fan and you're just watching for fun, this is right up your alley. Number 9. Wise Man's Grandchild. If Knights and Magic was your fantasy isekai, then I doubt that this will disappoint. Talk about being born as a badass OP magician. Wise Man's Grandchild begins when a young ordinary man dies in an accident and is reborn in another world inhabited by demons and other magical creatures. Upon arrival in the new world, he was saved by a world-renowned hero, the infamous Merlin Wolford. Merlin raised him as his grandson and taught him everything he knew except common sense or anything about the outside world. On Shane's 15th birthday, he decided to enroll in a magic school where he finds out that he is an overpowerful badass with the power to conquer nations. Following the story of Shane, he gains friends and creates the ultimate magician with his friends to fight demonoids. I hope that I'm not the only one which is a sucker for success stories, cause if I am, you're missing out. Number 8 on the list, we have Arifreta from Commonplace to World's Strongest. From Commonplace to World's Strongest, that's exactly what this is about. An anime filled with betrayal, overcoming struggles, and proving everyone wrong. This series follows Hajime Nagumo, who is transported to another world with his classmates who receive superior abilities to his. During a dungeon raid, he was betrayed by one of his classmates and fell to the bottom of a dungeon. Hajime finds a way to survive by eating monsters and leveling up to eventually clearing the dungeon. Along his journey, he gains new allies and travels with them to capture other dungeons to find a way home. This leads him on a path where he has to save the world and also save the friends that betrayed and looked down on him because he was weaker. This is a great anime to dive into without a second thought or hesitation. What's the most used device in your life? I bet it's your smartphone. Your smartphone and every otaku's fantasy. Can this get any better? So yeah, it's overpowered. For number 7 on the list, we have In Another World with My Smartphone. After dying because of God's mistake, Toya finds himself in a parallel world. God allows Toya to be resurrected in another world with his smartphone. Even though he cannot use it to contact his old world, it has other capabilities. As a bonus, God blessed Toya with enhanced physical, magical, and cognitive abilities. Not being able to go back to his world, he decides to gain friends and start his journey to travel from country to country, solving political disputes, quests, and enjoying his new life with his harem. This is an awesome anime and it is definitely worth the sleepless night. Number 6, we have Demon Lord Retry. Akira Ono is an ordinary working adult who is in charge of the MMORPG Infinity game, which he created. After 15 years of running the servers, he decided at this time to shut down the servers. As the clock strikes midnight, he suddenly finds himself in the body of a middle-aged man, Akuto Kunai, the demon lord of the game he created. Shortly after his bizarre transportation, he stumbled onto the demon Griol, chasing after a little girl named Aku. Akuto effortlessly destroys the demon, but he is concerned because he does not remember creating the girl nor the demon. Suspicious about where he has been teleported to, he decides to take the mysterious girl with him as a guide and companion. Along Akuto's journey, he encounters and summons various companions who follows him on his travels. As he learns more about this world, his reputation as a demon lord spreads throughout the land. His newly found recognition makes him a target, so he has to deal with the sociological problems of the kingdom and the Satanist cult that opposes it. Akuto continues to pursue his mission of finding out why he was summoned to this world, all while leaving chaos and destruction in his wake. Number 5 on the list, we have high school prodigies have it easy even in another world. This series is centered around 7 high school students who are known worldwide for their exceptional abilities. They are made up of the multi-millionaire Masato Sanada, skilled magician Prince Akatsuki, swordsman Ao Ichiyo, world-renowned Dr. Ken Kanzaki, journalist Shinobu Saratobi, the genius inventor Ringo Ooshin, and the Prime Minister Tsukasa Mikogami. One day, these friends survive a plane crash, only to find themselves in a medieval fantasy world called Freyagard. In this world, 2 human races live side by side in a feudal society made up of the Ayuma, who possesses limited magical aptitude, and the Buma, who possess animal features and formidable strength. Being rescued by the people of M Village, the high school students decide to use their advanced skills and knowledge to revolutionize the village and its culture. During their journey, they learn about an ancient legend that tells the story of how an evil dragon was slain by 7 heroes from another world. Believing that there is a connection between what has happened to them and the legend, they venture out into the world to find any clue that could lead them home. However, the group's intent becomes a threat to the ruling empire, which was built on atheism and social belief that only the strong nobility shall rule the weak. The conflicts with the empire leads to the prodigies creating their own nation with equal rights for the people. Number 4 on the list, we have Overlord. In the year 2126, a dive game called Yggdrasil was released. After a 12-year run, the game servers are about to be shut down. However, Momonga, a powerful wizard and the master of the Dark Guild, Heinz Olgone, decides to spend his last moments in the game. As the clock strikes midnight and the shutdown time arrives, Momonga finds that the game hasn't vanished. Instead, it seems like Yggdrasil has been recreated in another world, with its NPCs having individual personalities. Being trapped in the bones of the game avatar, Momonga is unable to use player functions or log out. Momonga sets out to learn if he is the only player in this mysterious world. Taking on the name of Heinz Olgone, Momonga starts to explore the world in an attempt to figure out what has happened to him, while also searching for anyone that can help him solve his mystery. Momonga is unable to feel emotions in this new world, which is proven with his relentless disregard for human life. This anime illustrates the psychology of a creature beyond ethical concerns with near limitless power. This is a great anime which promises laughter and entertainment for days. Next up, we have the top 3. Before we begin, help me share the love by subscribing and turning on post notifications. We've already established that I'm a sucker for success stories, so let's jump right in. For the number 3 position on our list, we have the Rising of the Shield Hero. This is one of those animes where it can be considered a crime if season 2 isn't made. Enough chit chat, let's dive right in. This anime is centered around the main protagonist, Naofumi Iwatani, a laid-back, easygoing Japanese youth who was summoned into a parallel world with 3 other young men from parallel universities to become cardinal heroes to fight interdimensional hordes of monsters called waves. The 4 cardinal heroes are bestowed a sword, a spear, a bow, and a shield to vanquish the waves. Naofumi becomes the shield hero. Armed with only the shield, Naofumi is belittled and scorned by his fellow heroes and the kingdom's people because of his weak offensive capabilities and easygoing personality. Unlike the other heroes who are fully supported by the kingdom and gain several strong allies, Naofumi is betrayed by his single companion who turns out to be the kingdom's princess, who steals all his belongings and accuses him of sexually assaulting her. Naofumi then becomes heavily discriminated against and hated by the kingdom's people for something he didn't do. With a raging storm of hate, betrayal, and pain in his heart, Naofumi begins his journey of leveling up. Naofumi is forced to train as a hero alone while trying to survive until he eventually buys a slave to be his sword. As Naofumi and his friends party gains the trust and gratitude of the people with their heroic actions, they work on carrying out their mission as saviors of the world. The Rising of the Shield Hero is one of my all-time favorites, without a doubt in the top 20 for the best Isekai animes of all time. Talk about an overpowered badass loner. In second place, we have Sword Art Online. In the year 2022, a VR game called Sword Art Online is released, alongside the Nerve Gear, a helmet that stimulates the user's 5 senses via their brain, allowing players to experience and control their avatars with their minds. This gives Antfree a whole new meaning. The Nerve Gear and the game was created by Akihiko Kayaba. In 2022, 10,000 players logged into Sword Art Online servers for the first time, not knowing that they wouldn't be able to log out. Kayaba appears and announces that the players should beat all 100 floors of Aincrad to be free, and that those who die in the game will die in real life. The main protagonist of the anime, Kirito, uses his advantage as a previous VR gamer and a drive to protect other beta testers from discrimination. Kirito isolates himself from the greater groups and becomes a solo player. As the game progresses, Kirito falls in love with a young girl, leading to their marriage. Shortly after, they discover Kayaba's identity, who was playing as the leader of one of the top guilds. They confronted and destroyed him in a grueling battle to the death. After escaping the game, Kirito is forced to jump back into another game to save his love from her self-appointed fiancé/stalker. This anime is sure to keep you at the edge of your seat. Although the ratings for the last season decreased, overall, this is a great anime to watch and enjoy. Finally, for the number 1 position on our list, we have That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, a Japanese fantasy anime. This anime is centered around an ordinary 37-year-old corporate worker from Japan who's a laid-back weeb until his world gets turned upside down when he is stabbed by an unknown assailant. Before succumbing to his wounds, a mysterious voice echoes in his mind. Upon regaining consciousness, he finds himself in a new world and discovers that he's been reincarnated as a slime. In an unfamiliar world, he then acquires newfound skills which allows him to devour anything and mimic its appearance and skills. He stumbles upon Veldora, a catastrophic level storm dragon who was sealed away for several years for destroying the town. Out of sympathy, he befriends the dragon, promising him to help him break his seal. In return, Veldora gives him the name Rimuru Tempest, granting him divine protection. Free from his past, Rimuru begins his journey to prove his worth. This is an anime which is one of the best out there. With every episode, you'll be begging for more. This anime leaves you begging for more with a sense of completion. And unlike various animes on this list, I never felt like this anime could be improved after finishing it. That's it guys for the top 10 Isekai animes to binge watch. If you made it this far, you would be a pity to leave without leaving a sub and a like. Take care, guys.